Welcome to ChemHelp ASAP. Anytime you see a nice curve, like the CP time curve for a drug, mathematicians will try to model and assign variables to it. This is certainly true in drug discovery. The variables used with CP time curves are called the pharmacokinetic parameters of a drug. We do not need to know everything about these parameters, but they should be part of our vocabulary. This discussion will be a bit more technical. The main variables are listed on this slide. These are the mathematical variables you are likely to encounter in discussions of drug activity. These parameters collectively determine the shape of the CP time curve. Bioavailability is the fraction, F, of the original drug dose that actually reaches the plasma. It can range in value from 0, which is low, to 1, which is high. Higher is better. A drug with a bioavailability of less than around 0.2, 20% absorption, is less predictable, which is another way to say less safe. Bioavailability is mostly driven by absorption and metabolism of a drug. Tmax is the time required for the oral CP time curve to reach its peak. Tmax can be read directly off a CP time curve for an oral drug. So over on the right of the screen, look at the time, the x-axis, at which the highest CP value, y-axis, is reached. Tmax is mostly affected by absorption. Tmax values are often in the 1 to 2, maybe 3 hour range. If you're taking an oral drug, you want it to take effect soon, so Tmax values tend to be short. Volume of distribution is, in a sense, the extent to which a drug prefers to remain in the plasma versus entering other tissues of the body. The parameter is reported on one of two scales. If the value has units of liters of volume, then a normal range might be 10 to 1,000. If the value has units of liters per kilogram, so it's adjusted based on the mass of the patient in kilograms, then the normal range may be from 0.1 to 10. These are approximate representative values. Clearance. Hepatic, renal, and total clearance. Clearance is related to how quickly a drug is removed from the plasma as it passes through an organ. Whether it's the liver, hepatic clearance, the kidneys, renal clearance, or all organs, total clearance. Clearance drives drug metabolism and excretion. In general, for oral drugs, hepatic clearance is more important than renal clearance. It is very difficult to give representative values for clearance. Half-life. Half-life describes how long is required for the plasma concentration to drop by 50%. Half-life is likely the most important single pharmacokinetic parameter. Half-life is closely tied to both volume of distribution and clearance. Higher clearance means a shorter half-life. A higher volume of distribution means a longer half-life. A goal for development of a new oral drug is often to achieve once per day dosing. An ideal half-life for once per day dosing is often mentioned as 8 hours. In practice, the half-lives of oral drugs vary a lot, and anything from 4 to 6 hours would not be uncommon. All these parameters provide useful information for how a drug behaves in the body.